Welcome back to my channel, guys. Today we are making Trinidadian fish broth, and here is what we'll need. Grab a screenshot, but I'm going to go through it slowly and I'll have it listed down below in the description box. We need a handful of parsley, some fresh thyme. I'm using some fresh chives, some Shado Beni, also known as Culantro, plantain, potatoes, green fig, carrots, and limes. We've got all of our green stuff in my blender, and I'm going to blend it with a little bit of olive oil in order to make a green seasoning. So that was basically the chive, the Shado Beni, and the thyme all blended up, okay? So I am using 2 medium-sized trout fish. I have already washed it off to get all the blood and everything off. So I'm just rinsing it out yet again just for you guys to see. Now I'm going to season it with my powder seasoning. I'm using any all-purpose powder seasoning that you have in your cupboard. So that was Tony Chachere's seasoning, and I'm also going to use some Goya adobo. Once I get it sprinkled on, about 2 tablespoons each, just mix it up so that way it, gets on, coats all of the fish kind of evenly. Now I'm going to add some of the green seasoning that we just blended. The next time I'm doing this, I will add more liquid, either vinegar or oil, because I did not like the way that it came out as smooth as it did. It shouldn't be this smooth. Anyway, to the side, I have a pot boiling with some water. I'm going to add some more seasonings to the pot. So this is 1 medium-sized carrot chopped up, some Shado Beni, and some chive chopped up going into the pot. Make sure you get all of it in there. The water was starting to simmer, which means like a low boil, just a little bit of bubbles. I am now going to add my 2 fish heads, and that's going to help to create the fish broth, or like a stock water for the soup. So we're just going to leave this to boil for about 15 to 20 minutes. Once it's finished boiling, we're going to look like this. You want to taste it. It's going to need some salt, so I added about a teaspoon of salt. Salt, use that at your leisure. Add as little or as much as you want. I'm going to add some chicken bouillon, and I added about 2 teaspoons. Those are like the small spoons, and we're going to stir that around to make sure that it gets incorporated. We don't want any clumps. And again, this is going to be to your taste. If you want more, go ahead and add more. If you want less, use less. It's all up to you. So once you've got all of this boiling and going, you've added your salt to get it up to kind of how you want it to taste. We're going to start adding our provisions into the pot. I'm starting first with my green fig because I don't want it to turn brown. Green fig oxidizes and turns brown very, very quickly. I have just peeled the skin off of it. Be careful when you're doing that. It's kind of tricky. And then I've cut it into 1 inch to 1.5 inch long pieces. Just something that's bite-sized, right? We want to be able to pick it up with a spoon and eat it without problem. So the next thing I added were the carrots and the potatoes, again about 1 inch cubes. And then the last thing I'm adding here is the plantain. Our plantain was already ripe, but not overripe, and we're going to allow everything to boil together. We want to continuously taste it as everything is boiling, so we know how much salt and pepper and chicken bouillon or Maggi to add, whatnot. But we're just going to let this boil so the provision and everything can start to cook. At this point, our pot has been boiling for at least a good 5 to 10 minutes with the provision in there. We don't want the provision to fully cook because we still have to add the fish, and we don't want everything to like break up and get too soft before we add the fish. We want everything to kind of want to time it so everything cooks together at the same time. So at this time, we're going to add the fish in. And I like some spaghetti in my fish broth. So as you can see, I've probably got about 8 pieces of spaghetti, and I'm breaking them into like an inch or less than an inch size pieces. We want to add all of these things together. Fish doesn't take long to cook, especially when you're boiling it. So this should be ready within another 15 to 20 minutes. And do you see how carefully I'm stirring the pot? Please stir your pot carefully so your fish does not break up. So at this point, I've come back to show you guys that I'm adding the limes. This is the limes that we had in the beginning. I've cut it in half and I'm just squeezing it in. Fish broth is a very savory dish, and it's also kind of tart or sour, acidic. So I especially like my fish broth to be a little bit tart. I want it to get you in the back of your throat. So I've added limes, at least half a lime. All in all, I added about 2 limes to my pot. And if that isn't tart or acidic enough for you, feel free to add some vinegar. I think I added 2 tablespoons of vinegar and the juice of 2 limes. Now, if you've never had fish broth or fish tea in this manner, please give it a try and let me know how you like it. If you are accustomed to drinking fish broth, maybe, you know, mama used to make it for you, or this is what your mom used to make. This is comfort food for some of us West Indians. Let me know how you guys like my recipe. Let me know if you've tried it, what you would change, you know, what do you guys say? So basically we're done. Taste it if you need more salt, more pepper, Maggi, whatever. But here we have it, some fish broth.